We're exploring the future of artificial intelligence and quantum computing and their impact on our world.
Hello everyone, I hope all is well. I want to take you on a journey. I'm going to talk about the floppy disk fallacy and why AI is our most important educational imperative at this point in time. Now, listen to me, because I'm going to dissect AI literacy and see if we need it. If we need it, I would say join me on a journey. I've created so many resources that I want to share with the world. And if you're interested, just let me know. I'm open to also training and development in this area. Why do I say this? Because I have studied literacy for the longest time. I do have a doctorate that focused on literacy in education, and I will be applying some of these conceptual framework to this course. So let's talk about the AI literacy in our education system and why it's the most important aspect that I see from my position. I'll look at other positions too as I navigate the space. So let's go. Just imagine a 15-year-old student in your digital literacy workshop. She raises her hand and asks a question that you might never forget. The question is like this. She said, if AI say I didn't write my essay, but I did, how do I prove I'm human? I want that to sink in. So AI is saying she didn't write it, but she did. How can she prove that she's human? Think about this moment. And there are possibilities that will happen consistently. A child asking a question to prove that she is human, to prove her humanity to a machine. We are at that point because there have been lawsuits regarding individuals who have said one individual did not write the assignment when she did. This is science fiction. As I stated before, it's happening right now in the classroom across the world. Students are writing and individuals are saying it's not their work. Students are being asked to do things, and when they do it, they're being flagged by AI detection software. Job applications are being rejected by resume screening algorithms that you will never meet. Citizens are being denied benefits by automated machines and systems that do not understand certain things. That is where we are. And we're told, don't worry, the interfaces are getting better and easier. We don't need AI literacy. That's tomorrow's floppy disk. And that is already being said. People are saying we don't need to have AI literacy, we need to have AI fluency. And I wonder where fluency puts in the part of critical literacy within my framework. There is a seductive narrative circulating around education right now, and it goes something like this. Remember when we taught computer literacy that involved DOS commands, floppy disk, card, catalogs? As a person who studied literacy, I understand that literacy shapes our society, shapes our history and everything. And we desperately need to go deeper in understanding what AI literacy talks about. That argument about computer literacy assumes that AI literacy means learning how to use tools today or today's tools. That learning ChatGPT is actually like learning WordPerfect in 1995. I remember when I went through on the computer at that point in time. When I talk about AI literacy, I'm not talking about technical training. And I want to make that clear. It's not technical training. It's not a one-off workshop. I'm talking about critical citizenship for the 21st century. And I make a connection to UNESCO because UNESCO has several competencies that I've incorporated in things that I've been doing for the last 2 or 3 years. Yes, specific AI tools will change. Interfaces will evolve. You won't need to be an engineer to talk to a machine or machines. In a narrow sense, prompt engineering is tomorrow's DOS commands, so you're able to navigate the space. But it gets deeper. But AI is not about operating tools. I move away from tools because we need universities and educators to understand. It's about understanding the systems that are making decisions about our lives. Yes, AI does make decisions about our lives every day. And those systems that we think we're using every day are powerful systems. And they're not going anywhere. That's the reality. Here's a paradox no one is talking about. As AI becomes easy to use, and I want you to think about that, it becomes harder to see. So it's harder to see these things that are happening in the background. When you type those commands, you knew you were operating a machine. You're practically inputting it. When you learn programming syntax, the complexity was visual. You actually saw it. But when you speak to an AI in natural language, notice natural language, it writes like a person. I want that person word to echo. And it appears to understand. It understands the context. And in our connections, we forget what actually it is. We overtrust the system. We humanize the system, and it is not human. The student with the issue of the assignment is facing a technical problem. Now she's facing a crisis that is beyond her. She's being asked to prove that she's human when her work has gone in that she did. How do we prove authenticity when a machine can generate convincing imitations? That's another issue we have to consider. How do we assert agency when algorithms judge your ability, your honesty, and your worth? These are fundamental things that we have to think about. These questions don't disappear as interfaces improve. They become more salient as we navigate. They intensify. And we must understand why we need AI literacy. Now let us go to another part. The real challenge, part 2. What is at stake and what is different? I don't know if you've used a fax machine recently, but I have. But fax machines are practically obsolete. And what did we lose? We lost the tool. AI is not just a tool we use. It is extremely different. And for us to understand the need for literacy, AI literacy is increasingly important. Increasingly, it is a system that now uses us. AI systems are making decisions that we didn't ask it to make. Whether you hire, whether you are qualified for a job or a loan, this implication is huge. Whether you receive medical treatment, whether you are flagged for security screening, what information you see online, the algorithm in the background, whether people are given a grant, how children are educated. It's making decisions. But prior to that, there was no need for us to consider these points. Now, these are not just convenience. These are not convenience. They're changing people's lives. These are powerful structures. And when power becomes invisible, what happens? When it becomes user-friendly, we stop questioning it. Now, you see the importance of AI literacy? We have to understand the risk. That's when we are most at risk, when we start to trust it that much. Then it leads us to another crisis, the misinformation crisis that many of us in our society they are facing now. Misinformation crisis is another point that many people face. Let me be very clear. We're entering an era where everyone can generate convincing fake videos of political leaders. Just think about that. Systematic media can be created at scale, large, instantly. Boundaries between authentic and artificial is dissolving faster than our ability to detect it. And in the United States, in the Caribbean, or wherever you are, we are already seeing AI-generated misinformation targeting elections. Yes, these are things that are happening in our society. Synthetic material designed to inflame political and ethnic tensions. These are common things happening. The response I often hear is, well, we just need general critical thinking skills. I always hear that. Critical thinking in your prompt, critical thinking as you go, critical thinking, critical thinking. But let us pause a bit. Let us reflect. What exactly is critical thinking in connection to artificial intelligence? I think it's more than that. Can general critical thinking help? A grandmother in rural Jamaica identified the risk on her phone when she saw someone asking her money on her WhatsApp, and or she saw her prime minister being AI generated and doesn't understand the difference. Can critical thinking help that? Can it help? Answer the question. Or someone in the United States sees a politician saying something, although it's fabricated, but can't understand to discriminate against that content. The abstract reasoning help a young person understand why an AI chatbot giving medical advice might be trained on data that does not represent them. Can critical thinking help that? This is not an academic exercise. I'm not trying to go there, but I'm just trying to put some positions out there to show the relevance of it. This is a public health and democracy governance crisis, and that is why we need AI literacy. It's not just like fluency. So let's go deeper in talking about what AI literacy is. I know you've waited for that, so we're going to go into it, but I just wanted to set the landscape for us to understand. So let us get this clear, what AI literacy means. AI literacy is a conceptual understanding. So first of all, let us understand. It's not about coding. It's not engineering. It is not about these two areas that you might think about. It's understanding what systems actually do. So you have to understand the system that you're using. AI identifies patterns in massive data sets and makes statistical predictions. So that's what I'm saying, it makes predictions. Knowing this, has it changed your mind yet? It does not think, it does not reason, it does not understand, meaning it just does not understand the way humans do. And when you understand that, you understand several things. Why bias is amplified, why hallucination takes place, and why it happens, and why confidence does not equal correction or correctness. Why AI can be impressive and unreliable at the same time. And that is why we need to go deeper in AI literacy. AI literacy is also ethical literacy. Every system embodies choices. What data matters is going to be important. What outcomes are optimized will be important. Who benefits and who pays the price is a part of AI literacy understanding the system. When facial recognition misidentifies black faces, that's not a glitch. That's a hiring algorithm. Producing discrimination, that's not intelligence. So we have to understand the need for AI literacy. That is automated injustice. AI literacy is also about democratic participation. These decisions are being made right now. Should AI be used for sentencing, in hiring, in education, in speech moderation? These are questions that guide us as a society. They are political ones, and citizens who don't understand AI cannot meaningfully participate in shaping it. And that is why I'm saying at this point we need to have AI literacy. Here's something that we must also explore. We must acknowledge the idea that interfaces are getting easier is a position of privilege. We have to go further than that. It assumes choices when they get easier. So when these interfaces that you're saying getting easier, it's making choices about you. But many people do not meet AI as a tool. They meet it as a verdict. That means the AI is already making decisions for them. The algorithm that will deny their benefits. The system that will label them as high risk. These are things that are actually happening. The facial recognition software that stops them from entering certain organizations. The content moderation that erases their voices. These are happening in our society right now. Yes, tools will change. Interfaces will evolve. But understanding power, bias, and limitations and accountability is going to be important. Never become obsolete. AI literacy is a modern media literacy, a modern civil education, modern critical thinking, and when done well, it strengthens, not replaces, the very same skills that we value the most. Asserting our humanity is no longer optional, it is essential. If you are interested in faculty development on this area, I'm willing to have some conversation with you. the future can't wait. We must act now. Thanks.